Welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. Another hot day and we've got to move more chickens. I know we said we were moving the last ones the other day, but these are truly the last ones we're moving. And we're moving our
golden friars today.
Golden friars. Those are the ones that we breed here on the homestead if you're new to the channel. It's a great frying size chicken. When we process them at 12 weeks, we end up with just over a 2-pound carcass. Great for fried chicken. And y'all, they don't need a lot of feed. We'll feed out around 20 birds. We'll feed out maybe three bags of 50-pound bags of meat bird crumble. What else we gonna do?
Gonna pull up the remainder of what is still in a few of the raised beds and get those amended. So in another week or so, I'll transplant out all my fall starts.
She's got 200 or 300 starts up there, y'all, for the fall. So yeah. We're constantly growing here. We're constantly raising chickens and pigs and gardens. Guys, hit the like for us, subscribe to the channel if you hadn't, and if you have, we always tell you we appreciate you. We're going to get to it. Y'all stick around. Gonna move some birds, gonna work in the raised beds. Guys, we put the waters and the feeders on one of these adjustable straps. That way we can raise and lower the water is pretty easy. Like, it's too high right now for babies, so just put some tension on it, mash the button, and I can drop it on down to where it needs to be. Same thing with this one, although we don't have the slider on it. I'll just tie it up and get it a little bit higher off the ground. And y'all, this big long feeder right here that's on chains, we'll actually drop that down whenever we have rangers in here, because they just require much more feed intake. And so we put these trough feeders in here and they work out pretty good. But for, I think we've got, how many birds do we have going in here? We'll have to count them. I think there's 15 or 16. This little 1.5 gallon feeder is all that we'll need in here for them. And y'all, these golden friars, we've raised them long enough now to know it's going to take 7.5 pounds of meat bird crumble. That's 21% Neutrina. That's what we use. We love it. We've been using it for years. It's going to take 7.5 pounds of it to get us basically a 2.25 pound dressed golden friar when we're done in 12 weeks. Whereas the rangers, they take a lot more feed, but different kind of chickens, y'all.
Hey guys. Hey guys. Woo. Alright. Okay.
Hold one of them up here.
Ow.
Now they're pretty chunky too, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
They're not as chunky as the rangers, but that's not what we're growing here. Yeah. They look good.
And they're pretty.
They're beautiful birds.
You may be early chicken dinner.
Early? That'd be an hors d'oeuvre.
She keeps pecking me. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we've got 15. And I should have paid attention as I was unloading them to see how many are hens and how many are roosters. But y'all, they're very spunky. And a few of them actually got me pretty good. So I'll say that this is the most spunky round of these that we've had, because normally they don't peck me, but several of them got me. really good.
Y'all, these fryers, we'll only have to feed them once a day because, like I said, they just don't consume the amount of feed that your broilers will. And y'all, we breed them right here on the homestead, and it's no proprietary breed. I guess it is to us, but hey, use it. All it is, y'all, is a Delaware rooster, big old tall white rooster, crossed with our speckled Sussex hens. And y'all, it just turns out a fantastic frying chicken.
And it's very tender.
Extremely tender. You know, when we process, we keep them on ice 24 hours, just like we do the Rangers. But y'all, it's melt in your mouth tender. And I know y'all, I'm sorry we're talking about you right here in front of you, but y'all, anyways, we love them. And honestly, if we were set up to raise about 100 of these at the time, I believe we would. And we may get to that because it's pretty economical to raise them. And they're just so good. We actually kept a couple out whole, a rooster and a hen off this last batch that we processed the other day. And if I can think about it, we'll do a comparison for a baked chicken off of them. And y'all, it's great for a small family. If you're an older couple like my parents, they love them. You know, they'll actually take a half a chicken and bake it. And that's a full meal for them, y'all, with probably a little bit of leftovers. We're gonna get on up to the raised beds.
I gotta feed the babies
first. Gotta feed these babies real quick. Might show you them real quick, and then go up to the raised beds, y'all.
Oh, gracious, guys. Come on. Is that good?
Y'all, the baby pigs, they get 3 meals a day right now. We give them breakfast, lunch, or dinner as you call it down here in the South, and then supper. And we do that so that we can feed them in small increments so that they'll clean up every bit of feed without wasting any. Just helps them to turn that feed into muscle a little bit better. Now we'll get up here to these raised beds and clean them up a little bit, get some garden soil. Yeah, we went and bought some bag soil. Lisa wanted some to amend the beds just a little bit because our compost, y'all, it just won't be ready until next spring. We had ran out, you know, and weren't able to make any there for some time. But we'll get these cleaned out. We'll get some garden soil amendment put into these beds. And here in probably another week or so, I'm not sure, I've talked to Lisa about that. Depends on weather and all, and her starts. We'll get those planted out here and we'll bring you along for that too, guys.
Now there's a couple of different ways that you can amend your beds at the end of the season for summer. If you're not growing any fall crops, you can put a cover crop in them or just let them rest. You can also put any type of organic matter, let that break down. That's going to add nutrients back to your soil for the spring. Because we're using these for fall crops, I'm doing a few different things. A few of them needed some dirt and just from time and settling. And this dirt actually has peat moss in it, which if you're going to grow for fall is a good amendment to put in. But this also has a slow release fertilizer. And this is the same dirt that I put in the pepper patch behind the house. It was the first time I've used this and was really, really pleased with how well it did. So that's what we went ahead and got. And actually, if you've seen any of our videos from back, we normally would use the Stay Green brand from Lowe's. This is very similar, but it comes from our local Southern States, and it was about, I think, $4 cheaper a bag. So it worked out well. And this bed right here, what we did when we pulled the green beans up is we took that organic matter, just all the plants, and put it down and let it break down and decompose. So this is what's left, and I'm just going to pull this out. This bed actually did need some dirt too, so it's going to have kind of a double dose of the nutrients from the matter that's broke down and then new dirt. And this, one thing that I do like about the chickens, one thing I do like about this over the Stay Green, it is much more loose. It's not just a real, it doesn't have a lot of big clumps in it that I have to go through and break up, but it has pine bark and peat moss, limestone, dolomite, and let's see what else. Perlite, which is good to help hold the moisture in your beds. And this can be used in ground or in raised beds. Oh, this was the one that was about 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, it got sucked up with water pretty good. That thing was heavy. I didn't think I was going to get it loaded. And guys, just spread it out. We've already tested the beds, and most of them are still really loose, so we didn't have to fork everything. We'll probably fork again before we plant though.
Yeah.
Y'all, that's gonna wrap it up for us today here at the Piney Woods Homestead. We'll stand here in front of this green bean patch. It didn't turn out too bad, y'all. It's not as lush as the ones we normally do, but had a little bit of a struggle with that early on. Anyways, we appreciate you hanging out with us as we got those golden friars put out. You got all your dirt put out.
Almost.
Or soil. Some people call it soil. Y'all, we just call it dirt. We know the difference. We just call it dirt. It gets dirt on me.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta wash it off, so it's dirt. Anyways, we appreciate you guys. Hit the thumbs up for us. Subscribe if you hadn't, if you have. Y'all, we appreciate you. We'll bring you back here. When are we gonna plant all this stuff?
Probably in another week. It's
week, 2 weeks?
Yeah, week, 2 weeks. Hopefully, I'll keep an eye on the weather, and hopefully the end of next week, which will actually be, I think, the first week in September.
Okay.
So that's around a good time. Usually today is blazing hot.
It's hot. Good gracious, it's hot. I'm glad we're about done.
Hot in about what, a week.
Yeah.
But you know, as seedlings, they'll be, once I get them hardened off, they'll be fine with the heat. But I just don't want them to have an extended period of time with heat. So
no, hopefully it'll work out.
Yeah.
Keep your fingers crossed, guys. We'll see you on the next video. Have a good day and a great week.